Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic, and with me today, the beast himself, Jon Harvey, vocalist, bassist for Monster Truck, Canada's greatest, latest gift to the world at large. How are you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. How are you?
Absolutely wonderful. It's Friday, I get a chance to talk with you. Don't fuck with the truck, right?
Yeah, you got it.
You guys are on a roll right now, not to make a pun. Congratulations, Juno Award, Breakthrough Group of the Year.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was pretty crazy. We definitely didn't expect to win, and the odds were in our favor, I guess.
You said that the group sort of fell together in this band. It was sort of a side project for fun, and you sort of did it for selfish reasons. But isn't the point of making music to do it for yourself first and foremost, and to have fun doing it? Isn't that where the best stuff comes from?
Man, I agree 100%. I mean, if we weren't having fun doing it, we wouldn't have kept doing it. And basically the way it started was, like a beer band, you know what I mean? Like you're going out playing gigs for beer, a couple $100 every couple weekends or whatever. And then people started coming, and more people started coming, and then we decided, well, we might as well take it seriously because I'm starting to make some coin here.
Aside from making coin, you're making really great music.
Oh, thanks a lot.
When I first heard the name of the band, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then when I put the album Furiosity on, it all seemed to make sense. It was like, wow. This really, truly fits,
A lot of people thought we were a joke in the beginning because of our band name, and really, the band name was a joke, like when we started it. But we figured, why bother changing it? I mean, it's pretty hilarious. So roll with it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, it works. I mean, and it's exactly what you would expect it to be. It's big, it's down to earth, it rolls right over you, The first single, "Sweet Mountain River," from the album, which comes out May 28th. Everybody keep that in the back of your heads. When I first heard that song, I thought this is like the sister song from Mountain's Mississippi Queen.
Oh, yeah, man. We, literally, I wrote the song, and we called it Sweet Mountain River. Well, we saw a river in the mountains, and I'm like, wow, that's really sweet. Like, we should call the song Sweet Mountain River. And I'm like, and let's write it so it sounds like mountain. And that's literally why it sounds like Mississippi Queen, is because it was pretty much intended that way. I mean, a lot of our songs were just playing the kind of tunes that we want to hear, so it's just, I'm a huge mountain fan, so, it came out.
Yeah, and the entire album is packed with songs like that that dip into a little bit of everything, and I want to talk about that next. But real quick, did you guys know from the start when you were putting the band together that you had to have the Leslie in there? You had to have the organ.
Yeah, that was a big part of starting the band. When we first started talking about it, me and Jaron, our guitar player, and our drummer Steve got together. And I'm like, we got to get a rock organ player just to put the icing on the cake, because I never see him anymore. So he's like, I got the perfect guy, and we got Brandon, and it worked out awesome. And then about 2 months into being in the band, he's like, I got to get a Leslie. So ever since, we've just been lugging it around, playing shows for the Leslie.
Yeah, that's definitely a beast to move around, but I can't imagine if you guys were writing the exact same songs and performing them without that. It just really would not be the same, because that's what really puts the icing on the cake for you guys, I think.
Oh, you're right. 100%. It's definitely the X factor.
Now, you guys really tap into everything, like you said, from Mountain and proto-metal bands like Dust and whatnot, Zeppelin, Deep Purple, but even up to new stuff like Rage Against the Machine and whatnot.
Yep.
For the world who is yet to get to know you guys are just breaking onto the scene outside of Canada. Where did it all start for you? Was there a song, an album, a concert, or something that made you say, that's what I want to do with my life?
Oh, basically it was like old punk rock and Pantera. Pantera was the first CD I ever bought. Yeah. Like Kennedy's and Pantera. That's pretty much what made me want to start playing music. And then, of course, my dad's a huge classic rock fan, so I was introduced to Grand Funk, the Grand Funk Red album specifically, and Sabbath and Zeppelin and Jethro Tull and all those bands. So it was naturally always a part of what I liked. But yeah, when I was a little kid, I was really into Pantera.
Well, and you have an incredible voice, your delivery and everything. Was there somebody that you sort of wanted to emulate when you began singing, that you sort of just tried to follow?
Oh, Bruce Dickinson and Dio. Bruce Dickinson and Dio. Those are my two shining singers. They're the best.
And of course, you play bass. How did you choose your weapon of mass destruction?
Oh, I fell into bass. I was playing. Actually, when I got asked to play bass in my first band, I was playing drums in another band, and they're like, we don't know, we know you suck, like you can't play bass, but how about you just like buy a bass and join our band? So I did that, and ever since then I've been playing bass for 10 years. So I kind of just fell into it.
Gotten a little bit decent at it, I guess,
Yeah, not too bad.
Now, you guys have already released at least a couple of EPs that I'm aware of, which you're offering at least the two of them for free on your website, ilovemonstertruck.com. None of those songs, if I remember correctly, carried over to the debut Furiosity. Is this album a continuation of the EPs in your mind, or is it a progression from them?
I think it's a progression from them. I think we just wrote a little bit more well-rounded album. I mean, the Brown EP is pretty much just straightforward the whole time. It's just beat you up the whole time with riffs. And the one before that was a little bit more just getting into it, deciding, kind of still finding our sound. And I think Furiosity is really like the definition of what we want our band to be. And basically it is a continuation. People kept asking us if we're going to record the other songs for the new album. We're like, why? We already have them. They sound good.
They're already out there. Here they are. Take them. So,
you got it.
Now, how does the songwriting process work in the band? Is it just one or two of you that write, or do you all write? Do you bring in bits and pieces, or do you do it all organically right in the studio? Or
we pretty much, Jer and I write the bulk of the tunes. I pretty much write most, if not all, the lyrics and like vocal melodies. But Jer writes a lot of riffs, and I write a lot of riffs, and then we just kind of bring them to practice, and we all just arrange them together, write parts together. So basically just a shell of a song, you bring it, and then basically everyone pretty much makes it the beast it is, you know what I mean?
Right. And again, the album is full of one wonderful track after another. I've already written the review. Go check it out, metalholic.com, people. But are there one or two songs on there that speak perhaps more loudly to you than the others, that have either a special connection or there's a story behind them from when you put them together that you can share with us?
Yeah, I really, My Love Is True is the last song that we wrote that I wrote for the record. And basically it was just about problems of being on the road and having someone at home. And I had a girlfriend at the time, and she was at home, and I was on the road, and I was always wondering what she was doing. She was always going out and partying, and then you come home and you hear a bunch of stories about your old lady getting crazy at a bar. So that's pretty much what that was about. Like, it was kind of like a reassuring thing for my lady at home at that point. And then I'd say I like The Lion. The Lion is a track I really enjoy because it's just about staying positive, and even when you're kind of down, just staying in the game and keep fighting,
Right. One of my favorites on there is Psychics. I really got a kick out of that song.
Oh yeah.
Is there a story behind that one?
Basically, it was just about I don't know. I wanted to give kind of like myself hope in thinking that rock music's coming back and everything's going to get better again. So basically, what that song's about is I can kind of see that people are starting to get into rock and roll and getting into heavy, good tunes again, and it's exciting. And the Psychics thing is kind of cocky, but it's basically about, well, it is. It's basically about saying, I told you it was coming. So it's basically almost a celebration of rock coming back.
Well, and it is. It's so true. I've been saying to people a lot in the last few years, it's nice that we're actually getting bands who are really getting back to writing real songs again and not just a lot of drivel and stuff. So thank you for being one of the bands that's bringing that back.
Well, I hope we are.
Absolutely. Now, you guys are getting ready to do a short stint with Seven Dust, but what else is going on tour-wise? Are you going to be doing a full-scale U.S. tour at some point? Or
we're hoping to get as much U.S. exposure as possible. In July, we're doing a short Canadian tour with Alice in Chains as well. And then we're not quite sure what's going on after that. We have a few offers up in the air, but I'm sure we're going to stay busy and try and stay in the States as much as possible just to play and enjoy America.
Right. Well, you've already made your voice known in Canada, obviously, winning the Juno Award, so it's time to start conquering the rest of the world.
You got it. Domination.
There you go. So before we get out of here, just a few more songs just for fun. What are you into outside of music?
Outside of music, I really like, I read a lot of books. I really like art and things like that. normal things, food. I don't really have excess hobbies other than music. It's pretty much my life, man. I know the other guys into woodworking and metalworking and all this other stuff, but I just like music, man.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Now, I have to ask, and not because you're Canadian, but I did see on your site that you guys are fans of hockey, and I'm a huge hockey fan. So Are you yourself a fan? And if so, what's your team? Because Canada's got some incredible teams.
I'm a Leafs fan, so I like one of the least incredible teams typically, although this year we just made the playoffs, so we're hoping for, the Leafs. And it's typical. If the Leafs do win the cup, it's the shortened season, so everyone's got an excuse to say it doesn't count.
You know what? But you've got a team with a real legacy there, so, and I always thought that was important. You have to stand by, you have to be true to your teams up and down, so...
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a Sharks fan, so hopefully we'll see you in the playoffs.
Right on.
But, all right, so our pointless question of the week. If you could be, whether it was a character or playing yourself, if you could be a character or whatnot in any TV series, what would it be?
Character in any TV series? I would have to say, that's Seinfeld. Yeah. That should have been easy. Seinfeld, absolutely.
Nice.
So do you want me to name the character?
Oh, who would you play?
I would like to be Jerry Seinfeld. If I could be any... Man, are you kidding me? He always banged hot chicks, and he always had money.
Nice. Jon Harvey as Jerry Seinfeld in a show about nothing. That seems fitting somehow. Jon Harvey of Monster Truck, the new album, the debut album, the full-length Furiosity, out on May 28th. Everybody get out there and get it. ilovemonstertruck.com, the website, and of course you're on Facebook as well as the rest of the world. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.